guy needs help to open every door in the game. If he didn't have a partner, it's like he wouldn't be able to open any door. Every time I watch the stream, this is Resident Evil 6, he needs his partner to help him kick the door, he needs his partner to help him push the door. He'd get nowhere by himself. It's amazing. It's like the main point of his having a partner is to have somebody help him open doors. They overdo it, obviously. This game, for some reason, it gets bad reviews, but I think it looks good. I mean, they wanted to emphasize the action in this Resident Evil game, and people complained. And after they complained, they got Resident Evil 7, which looks so boring and terrible. There's like not even any enemies in Resident Evil 7. So this game, it looks really good. I don't know why the reviews are so bad. And another thing, I like the Resident Evil games where there's a third person, where you can see the character you're controlling. Resident Evil 8, it looks good. The only thing I don't like about it, I've never liked really first-person shooter games. I always like to see the character that I'm controlling, and that's why I think Resident Evil 5 and 6 are good. You can see your character. Although sometimes in confined spaces, the sprite that you're controlling glitches onto the screen sometimes. Other than that, it's a seamless, presentation. I like to see the character that I'm controlling. That's why I don't, something about not being able to see your character takes out some of the suspense of the game. Probably because you can see your character, Resident Evil 1 and 2 are scary games because you have a sense of perspective of the person that you're controlling, and you want to help them more. When it's just a first person, it's I don't like it. So I hope Resident Evil 9 they have the third person again. And like, look at all the detail on the third person. He's got all his weapons in all different spots. You can't like be lazy about it. But in Resident Evil 7 and 8, if you were to see your character, they probably don't even place the weapons in different spots. So it's more realistic too. First-person shooters, it's like, you just, it's like you're a spirit just wandering around. Like, it's like almost you have no body. You have no body because you can't see it. In this kind of game, you can see the body that you're controlling, and it's much better. Just for this alone, I'd say Resident Evil 6 is better than 8. Even though I like the factory a lot in Resident Evil 8 of that guy Helsing or whatever, Heidenberg. People want to give Resident Evil 6 a break. They wanted to show off the capabilities of the platform, PS4 or whatever it's on. So it's more action. I don't know if you have this. It's the green monster. I think you should be able to get it in the stores. Zero Sugar Ultra Paradise. It's the Zero Sugar monsters are really good, but I still prefer the Zero Sugar Red Bulls. This is a video here with under 100 views. It's somebody uploaded it a few weeks ago. So usually videos with under 100 views, there are no commercials, which is really good if you want to read and have something playing in the background, which is why a lot of the videos on my channel are good, because they are music and they have under 100 views. So you can listen to them without having to skip the commercials. I can't believe the Rangers not making the playoffs. That is terrible. And they extended Chris Drury too. Chris Drury has, he's built a bad team. They have no character, they have no spirit, they have no heart, they can't claw back from adversity, the Rangers. They were good. They're not the worst team. I don't know if I would have kept Chris Drury, but I don't know what the Rangers are going to do. If they get off to a good start next year, they should be okay. But if they're playing 500 hockey, other teams are going to know that they are weak. They're not the President's Cup trophy winners anymore. Even though the team is the same, the aura and mystique of the Rangers has been dismantled. And Clutterbuck retired from the Islanders. Cal Clutterbuck. I don't know. I just think that's incredibly weak to retire after like 16 seasons or whatever, unless he couldn't play anymore. But that's why we admire people like Zach Parise, who played at a high level until they couldn't play anymore. That's why we admire people like Alexander Ovechkin, Crosby, and Malkin, who will play 20 seasons. And that's why we want the Washington Capitals to win the Stanley Cup this year, because I think it would be good for Ovechkin, who has had a lot of adversity because of the Russian and Ukraine war. His sponsors dropped him, his friends turned their backs on him. But he stuck around and he kept the fire to the end. So hopefully he will gain his deserts this year and win the Stanley Cup. I just dislike the anti-realism of these games, because in real life, if you were to get shot by an enemy, you would die. So that's the problem with the gun games now. That's why the sword games, they're just more realistic. Maybe such as like Lies of P or something. But they could make this more realistic if they had like some kind of serum or something like you ate it and then your body kind of made you partially immune from bullet wounds for maybe 30 minutes or something, and you were to have a supply of those, sort of like like an anti-malaria pill if you were to go in the jungles. So the same thing with that. I just prefer games that are more realistic. That's why when you're just fighting zombies, like in Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and even 4, because 4 they don't use guns, they have crossbows. When you're just fighting those kind of people, it's more realistic. Once they came out with Resident Evil 5, towards the end of the game, the enemies, they would start to have guns. And, Resident Evil, it would be better, this game would be better if the enemy didn't have guns. They gotta have some kind of armor though that's almost like Under Armour, and it's like kind of skin tight, and it just, when the bullets hit, it would deflect them. That would be good, because if they have the technology to create these bioweapons, it would make sense to also have the technology to create types of armor. The beautiful skylines there. That's the fake Ada Wong, I think, or she might be the real one. That's kind of stupid, the fake Ada Wong. Look, again, he needs help opening the door. Like, I don't understand how every door is too tough for one person, but 2 people, it's okay. It's like almost every single door. people say they don't like this Resident Evil because there aren't enough puzzles. I think the puzzles are actually one of the worst parts of the Resident Evil games. If I wanted to do puzzles, I would play like a puzzle game. A lot of the times I have to look up how to do the puzzle online. Resident Evil 4 has a lot of this kind of stuff. And, I like, I would like a slower game with less action, but at the same time I don't want it to be so slow that I have to do puzzles. Like, it's kind of unrealistic in a way to have these random puzzles cropping up when you're trying to open a door or operate a machine or something. Um, but I would like more horror and suspense. But Resident Evil 1, although a classic game, it has too little action. Resident Evil 2, it picks it up a little bit. Not enough enemies in Resident Evil 1. Sort of like Mario 64, you don't have enough supporting characters, so people find it eerie. Maybe that's what they were going for in Resident Evil 1. They try so hard to make her into like this suave and cool lady. Like, is that how she always acts? Like, what does she do if she's like, if there's nobody there? I don't see how a person could always act like that. It's kind of shallow. See, I thought this already happened. Like, the timeline of this is so confusing for me. Because I already remember them going through different parts of China fighting the zombies. So it's just, maybe it's the copy that I'm watching. It's just the timeline is messed up. The thing about Resident Evil, though, is this could really happen. Like, the way that some people irresponsibly use biology now, creating viruses in labs, this could actually happen. They could create mutations like this and new kind of pseudo species, and this could actually happen 20 years down the road. It's like nuclear weapons. They don't want to trust some countries with nuclear weapons. You also can't trust some countries, maybe all countries can't be trusted with such biological potentialities.
Walk to the other side.